All right. So, you know, like I said before, my brother, he was just tripping big time. Keep in mind, this is episode what, 4? No, yeah, 4. It's episode 4. I was like, so, yeah. So, like, I felt like my brother was big tripping, right? And this is where, like, I was still considering everybody as like, family and stuff like that. So I called my other brother, right? I said, hey, look, what's going on with blah blah blah? What's going on with Big Bro? Cause Big Bro tripping over here. He like been threatening me and staying with me. Like, if you was gonna do all that, you should never like accepted me to like come here and stay. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And afterwards, um, afterwards, I was just like, just contemplating, thinking to myself, like, damn, like I don't necessarily want to be here, only because, not because I felt like I was going to say something, but it was more so because I felt like, if you got to do all this, don't invite or don't have people come over to your house. Like, that's not making any sense. And if you want to stay in like a toxic behavior and or pattern and or cycle, then do that by yourself. Like, that doesn't, you're not making any sense right now, and for me, I was just, that's really how I was thinking. Like, none of it is really making sense. I was like, so afterwards I started like just reading books and things of that nature. um like, while I was, because keep in mind, I was still on my healing journey, but I was just healing that trauma that I went through just before I had left Atlanta, right? And so I was focused on like just healing that, right? So I can just get that out of my system and move forward, right? So then, like, lo and behold, I start working. Keep in mind, like, I guess my brother put in a good word for me to get the job where he was working at the time. And so me and him, we working together, right? I was like, and you know, the way that I'm set up, like, I'm a really hard worker. Like, no matter where I go, I'm a hard worker. So if any of my bosses say I'm not working, I don't be working hard, they lying, and tell them I said it. Matter of fact, show them this video. I was like, so anywho, like I said before, I'm a hard worker. Everything that I do, I literally take it serious, right? And so, and not serious in the sense where I can't joke around, just serious in the sense of I want to get the job done right. You know what I mean? Let me get the job done right, like a couple of times, and then after that, I can joke around and stuff like that, where I can fit it in, right? So, anywho, I'm working and stuff like that, doing overtime and stuff like that. And, nothing's bad, nothing's going on, just doing my thing. And then, like, because I'm rarely there, then all of a sudden, like, I think one of the weekends that I did have off, or like I had a couple of weekends off and a couple of days off, but one of the weekends that I actually was like, what, let me take this weekend off. It was just like one of those things where I felt like, people in the household started like acting weird or like trying to create drama for no reason. Like, I think it was one of the weekends where my like, I think Nate Robinson, he was having a fight or whatever. He was boxing, the basketball player. He was having a fight or whatever. And I told my nephew, because me and him, we always talk about sports. So I told him, I said, yeah, like, I did a little training and stuff like that when I was in high school for boxing, but I never, like, I never went forward with it. But like, my the person I was training me, he was like, you got a hefty punch on you, you know what I mean? I was like, and he was just like, he was getting a workout and stuff like that. So, I was just sharing with him, because we athletes. So I'm just looking at it as athletes running our veins. You know what I mean? That's how I'm looking at it. Man, lo and behold, I think my brother calls me. Yeah, like, my brother, he ends up calling me, and he's like saying to me like, "Hey, did you make a threat to this person, that person, da 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 da, and all this drama in the house?" I was like, "No, like, what are you talking about?" He was like, "Well, um, your nephew said that you was telling him about boxing." Yeah, I was telling him a story about when I was, I did a little bit of boxing. Like, it was nothing. Like, you know what I mean? So this is what I'm thinking, right? I was like, it's nothing to it. Like, what are you? You know what I mean? Like, I think you're thinking too much into it, or I think he's thinking too much into it. And when I seen that, I started to realize, like, damn, like, y'all trying to make it look like I'm doing something wrong. And, my brother's rarely at the house, so it's not like he can see exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? So he's just looking at it as if, like, oh, okay, like, this and this is what's going on, right? He's looking at it from a standpoint of where his wife and his kids is telling him. He's not looking at it from a standpoint of where I'm saying, like, bro, like, I don't even mean that. Like, I'm not aggressive. You know what I mean? I'm just very, like, I'm very chill. I'm very laid back. So, you tripping, right? I was like, stay tuned for, I think it's, what it would be, part five? Stay tuned for part five or episode part five. Oh, by the way, go get you some Profound Ways of Thinking merch.